Hi, I'm Aurora and welcome. Today we'll be going through the dungeon Channelworks. So I've just instance matched it. So one of the main things you need to know is that you need to use a battle solution. So it can be the thing that's on the elite bar or one that's similar. And basically that when everyone in the party has used that, it allows you to go into the dungeon. So this one's just like a bit of a walk going through. It's a pretty much when you get to level 65 it helps you get some gear like jewelry and brooches and all that kind of stuff. So it's not really a hard dungeon, but I'll just go through the mechanics as we go. So this is the sentry. So at every 25% down, so like 75, 50 and 25, it'll go into a mode where some walls come up and basically you can't attack during that time, and you can go, yes, it's like a trap mode. So you just go outside and then it basically does something inside. It doesn't really hurt much, but for the getting the mechanics right, I'll just go with doing them just to make it show. So then that was 75, so then we'll attack again. And then as it hit 50, it's going through the trap mode again, and the walls have gone up again. So when it hits 25%, it'll stop again, and then the walls for the trap mode will actually be on the other side than usual. So it's one of those, when you're fully geared, it's a bit slow because you have to wait for all the trap modes to finish before you can actually do something, but it's something easy to do when you don't really want to do anything. Or if you've got like the current catalyst event, it's really good for farming the catalysts. But it just depends on what you want to do with it. So easy daily. So it drops earrings, crystal vines, and feedstock from this boss. I'll just get my looting pad out. So basically the boss starts, the egg pops and the boss comes, he rolls forward to this spot and then basically just attack him like usual. Now one of the special things is if you don't kill this egg in time, it will basically pop open and a little mob will spawn. They've got a bit of health, but you don't really need to worry about it too much. So there's one other mechanic, but we'll just have to see if it'll probably happen soon enough. But basically, he's a bit of a poisoning boss, but you can't really cleanse anything. So when it says he's spreading parasites, like so, he'll be like looking like he's sucking the ground, and then everyone who's in that will go purple. And the thing is, it actually means there's these little bat monsters that'll come out, because if you get hit by that parasite, then the little parasites come, like those ones. And that little mob right there, that one comes from the egg. So it's something avoidable, but it just depends on if you are struggling in the dungeon or if you're not struggling. If you're struggling, then obviously you might want to do the mechanics, but if it's that easy, you don't really need to focus on the mechanics, but it's just something good to know. And this is just a nice long walk to the end, and then you'll get to the last boss. So right where we have to jump here, a gate will form. So it's good to make sure that the whole party's through before starting. Otherwise, you'll have a person not quite happy because they're stuck outside. So this one is one of the Channelworks Sentinels. It's a Lancer. On this side there'll be a Slayer, and on the other side there'll be a Healer. So it's basically depending on what you want is what you break open. These bosses in Channelworks are not really good for holding aggro, really. They're pretty bad. The bosses go to anyone and they don't really focus on aggro, so it's one thing that most tanks don't actually activate the Lancer because it just takes the aggro and does weird things. But basically, as you can see, my character's colourful. It's because it's a passive buff that you don't really see from the Slayer and the Lancer. I'm not quite sure. I think one's a damage and something else, power and crit. I'm not totally sure, but if you know, you can definitely let me know in the comments. But basically, it's a quite easy dungeon, and there's nothing too big. There is one mechanic, as you can see, it says I outlast you. You can dodge that with your iframes, but basically it'll look like he's making a patty cake with his hands, and he basically just does a stun mechanic and then gets a rock and then puts it down on people. But that's pretty much a Channelworks. So I hope this helps if you're beginning to learn how to do new dungeons when you get to level 65. And thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day.